That's the leftover you're looking for. Be careful down here. Easy to get trapped. The dark is almost over. He says that's enough to get the MKTon functional. You'll have an engine, a fuel soaker, a gun and a gathering net, but no armor, nor enough oxygen supply. He made a suction device so the MKTon can use the black tar as an instant refuel. You can also use it to clear oily goo puddles, so you can pass and access hard-to-get-to areas. He's been working on another project for the MKTon, a cannon, but it needs ammunition, and by that he means the scripts. He says if they're trained right, they'll turn into a distraction for the jumbo puff. The best way to find scripts is to go talk to Moog. He knows the ins and outs of every breathing thing left alive after the apocalypse. Unfortunately, this means you'll have to venture farther out into the dead zone than Moog's camp on the steep depot. Once you find Moog, he'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find scripts. He noticed the jumbo puff has a short attention span, so the script should distract it long enough for you to inflict some damage. The bright time creatures are getting up. The grease monkey's MKTon is built sturdy, just like himself. Can you imagine how this place used to look before the dead oil flood? Might want to hold your breath before you head any further. You're about to witness the breathtaking vistas of what's known as the Dead Zone. It's so active out here with the light. In the old world, roads like this really led somewhere. Now, most of them lead to disaster. That over there is Steepo Depot, the cliffside that Moog hangs on to.
Pode ser. E Tiava.
Let's see.
Mustakabala nukuntunas.
This one's impressed to see you out here. He figured you'd be dead by now. Not many are as tough and clever as you must be.
Mustakabala nukuntunas.
Says a monster hunter hears many things on the wind.
Sirka fulafinte hos.
Moog says that all your power doesn't do you a bit of good if you're not willing to pull the trigger when the time comes.
Tiava.
Choosing what to kill and what to spare are the most important decisions you'll make.
Dana untizavela.
You might have a steady aim, but you need to be sure that you pick your targets with care.
Segaya lama yaba.
It's hard to make those life or death decisions for others, but someone's got to do it. Otherwise, they'll do it themselves, and you know they'll miss.
Silogo partinea fanes.
When it comes to monsters, he mostly picks who dies.
Dana untizavela.
Says it's wild that the world seems to be coming back, but he supposes that means more monsters for him to shoot.
Sarevanyat zap.
Wonders why you work so hard to keep things alive. Bullets help thin the herd instead.
Botse.
Says you should give up on working with the stubborn myriad. He keeps trying to put out their lights and they keep putting up new ones.
Sarevanyat zap.
Says they keep the monsters away. He needs them closer, not farther.
Vaksan u intabadan kamaklai.
But enough of that, right?
Vaksan u intabadan kamaklai.
He says the wildlife, nature, has changed and turned against us. Instincts of survival took over when the world changed.
Badayan analove.
He's not sure about their veggie diet anymore, and if it's changed, who knows what it's done with the chemical composition of their body output.
Fiona.
Right now, though, he feels he's come to a point where he's got a pretty clear idea on the whereabouts of monsters, both tall and short.
Badayan analove.
Thinks that it all hangs on the tree of life. When it started to fail, everything changed.
Uvuksu iskualehan yoskaba.
Moog says you must learn to walk before you can run. It takes practice before you can call yourself a monster hunter.
Kaffee.
Fortunately for you, he can help. He understands you need to start off with something small before you go big. There's no better place to start than a squip cave. Hunting down a couple of these little critters for yourself should keep you on your toes.
Why unfoodly a higher?
Thinks you have bigger issues than your so-called haunting skills if you're going to nitpick on his grammar. Eyes on the road or whatever's ahead. You're here for a reason. It's up to you to figure out what that is. Knuckle sandwich. Cutting edge. Heroes inspire in a way nothing else can. Imagine that. You could just go to a place like this to get a proper meal back in the old world. Sure you know how to motivate this? Wait, it's the scrip hole-up. Place is just filled with critters. Burnt all. You've got more than a flesh wound here. Nothing but dead air here. Lockety-locked. Someone has to end this plague before it's too late. You need to line up. You need to You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Do you feel safer or more exposed in the dark? There's a place and time for everything, but for that city scenario, it's already come and gone. It's time for an adventure, for good or bad. Bang Shelter 7B is still there, open and ready to shelter. so much damage. You might want to fall back. Just listen. You might hear something important. Not just from me. He says that's enough squips to sustain the McTon's claw crane cannon with infinite ammunition. Well done. It's not his cleanest invention so far, but it gets the job done. Use it to suck up gooey oil puddles in the McTon's way so you can pass. Gizmo's made vehicles before to confront the Jumbo Puff himself, but failed. But this time, it's different. The McTon will be strong enough to do the job. It's time to put a stop to the World Eater now, otherwise he fears the damage it's caused to the tree already will be too much to handle. There's time to improve the McTon before you confront the Puff. There are more wreck boxes out in the dead zone with gear you should be able to equip the McTon with on your own. He got the idea to build the McTon when he found a big crate containing the metal frame for something Toxanol had named an exoskeleton. Gizmo wants to help if he can. Says talking to you was interesting.